What's going on, people? It is Saturday, the 9th of November, 2024. It's 10:45 a.m. here in Germany. I am on the way back home. It's going to be a pretty short weekend for me. I'll be back on the road again Sunday night. And this is a rant. I'm going to have to do another rant. I know I did one last week. I'm going to have to do one again because, in my opinion, for my taste, I am hearing way too much unity talk, okay? That makes me nervous because I'm not about to be happy with a Trump administration that just goes along with the status quo, that again we see no accountability for all of the corrupt criminals in government and outside of government, no accountability for COVID, no accountability for Afghanistan, no accountability for the Democrats that made the Russia collusion hoax, that tried to impeach Donald Trump twice, that made up all kinds of stories, did illegal shit, and they just walk away scot-free. That is unacceptable. I also want to see the January 6th people being pardoned, Ross Ulbricht being pardoned, Edward Snowden being pardoned, and actually, even though the Julian Assange thing is generally over, I still think that he should get a official pardon from Donald Trump because he does have a criminal record in America now because he had to make a plea deal. So there's a lot of things that I am expecting and hoping that Donald Trump does, and they don't include a lot of unity, in my opinion. I'm sorry, my opinion is the time for this unity is over. These people are fucking evil pricks. They all need to be held accountable. And I'm very upset, or I will be very upset, if those things don't happen. Now, you can't have it all, okay? So if he doesn't pardon one person of the people I listed, or, you know, does some things I don't like, that's normal. You're never going to get 100% your way. But if there is this push towards unity and let's all get along and we can bring the country together, that train has taken off from the station, in my opinion. There is no more getting together unless there are lessons learned. You see, if there's no accountability, our side is still going to hate the other side. The other side might get on its knees and pretend that they've changed and they don't want to be hurt by Donald Trump, or they don't want to be in prison or lose their jobs or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what they don't want. That. So that they're now somewhat getting on their knees and acting like they're getting in line. It's the same play that Zuckerberg made, even though he's still banning people from Facebook and still put his thumb on the scale before the election by doing so. So Zuckerberg writes a nice letter to Congress, says, oh, we fucked up and we're so sorry, and Donald Trump is badass for dodging a bullet or getting hit in the face with a bullet and then jumping up with fight. Yeah, but this was all bullshit. He just read the tea leaves and thought, shit, if Trump gets in, there might be some major regulation coming my way, and I don't want that, so I'm going to pretend like I am now on the Trump train without actually being on the Trump train. And I think that a lot of the people that you see doing these mea culpas on, mainstream TV and on the podcast, I think those people are all just trying to cover their asses. I don't believe for one second that these people that have gotten the country of America to the point where free speech is a bad word and they're cutting off little kids' dicks to fuck for some strange, crazy ideology. Those people are not just going to honestly turn over a new leaf. That's not going to happen. The people that perpetrated this insane shit must be held accountable. Now, yes, I know that people out there are going to say, well, that's revenge. Yes, in my opinion, that's revenge. It's retribution and it's accountability all wrapped into one. And I believe they all absolutely deserve what they get. Now, if there are investigations done on certain people and nothing comes up, they weren't a part of the deal, they weren't a part of any conspiracy against Donald Trump, they weren't a part of any court cases, then okay, then let him go. No problem. We don't have to get rid of all the Democrats, okay? It'd be nice, but it's too much, right? It's too much to ask. So I'm not going to ask that. What I do ask is that there is massive accountability for everybody involved in all of these clusterfucks that we have seen over the past 4 years. And there's a lot of them, and I'm not going to get into all of them now. We all know what they are, right? Now, some things make me hopeful that's still going to happen. The other day on the mainstream news, one of the lawyers that I think he works for Trump, or he's going to work for Trump, I'm not sure what his name is. Maybe you saw this clip, but he spoke directly to Letitia James in New York, I believe. Anyway, I don't know. I think it's New York. Yeah, Letitia James. And said, look, I dare you, his literal words were, I dare you to continue this lawfare against Donald Trump because we are no longer playing around, right? And we will put your fat ass in prison. I was like, yo. At first, I thought that shit was AI, right? I was like, whoa. I mean, that's even more bark than Donald Trump. So I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. And you see that some of these, like Jack Smith is getting ready to drop his cases. The cases are falling off, right? They are starting to realize, oh shit, we can't actually go ahead with prosecuting the incoming president. That will be bad for our lives. And suddenly, the law and the Constitution and reality suddenly matters because reality has come a knocking on their doors. That's why they're doing that. Now, Juan Merchan looks like he's still going to sentence Donald Trump right now. Now, do I think that he's actually going to put Donald Trump in prison? No, I don't think that's going to happen. But I wouldn't put it past him if he's like the last line of defense, right? So we'll see what happens with that. It is very odd that they're just not dropping the case, but I suspect they probably will. Now, I love the talk from the lawyer. I love the idea of putting Letitia's fat ass in jail, where she belongs. You know, she's corrupt and she's abusing her power. She needs to be let go and serve a little thinking time. At least as long as some of the January 6 people that are still in jail now without due process, so about 3 years, 4 years, I think that'll do. Yeah, right. And and then all I hear from everybody on podcast and the people that, you know, are on Trump's side and Trump campaign is unity. I even hear people talking about that it would be very gracious of him and a very good idea for him to pardon Hunter Biden, which, okay, I can go with that. Hunter Biden obviously has lived under the thumb of his family or his father for almost his whole life. He was probably talked into and coerced into doing horrible shit to the benefit of his father, and also, of course, financially benefiting himself. But it looks like those cases probably are never going to be prosecuted, and so they're trying to get him on some bullshit gun charge, on which this form that you have to fill out to get a gun is absolute bullshit. It's self-incrimination. If I'm going to go buy a gun, I'm not going to tell the fucking gun people or on this form of the FBI that I smoke weed. I want a gun. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to lie. So will everybody else. So Hunter Biden did what everybody else would have done, and nobody should be prosecuted on these grounds anyway, because in my opinion, unconstitutional to make people incriminate themselves in order to buy a legal product, right? It's crazy. Nobody does it, and I don't expect Hunter Biden to do it either. So, and I'm not going to discount Hunter Biden for doing drugs. I've done a bunch of drugs throughout my life. I feel like if you're an adult human being, you should be able to do whatever fucking drugs you want. It's nobody's goddamn business. So, I don't care about cocaine in the White House. I don't care about Hunter Biden smoking crack. I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care about Hunter Biden lying about a gun. The only thing I really care about is if Hunter Biden was involved in somehow selling secrets on the U.S. to the benefit of the father and the benefit of the family. That does bother me. But hey, if you pardon him but get the other people, I'm cool with that. But for me, it's too much unity talk. Too much talk about, okay, we won now, so all right, guys, the fight's over. Let's be friends. No. These people are going to stab you in the fucking back. All right? I also hear talk already of Donald Trump letting people like Lindsey Graham in his administration. That's a rhino piece of shit. Lindsey Graham is a piece of shit. Mike Pompeo is a piece of shit. These people need to be kept far away from this administration. They should not have Trump's ear at all. Keep those motherfuckers away. But then what makes me feel better is on the other side, you got Elon Musk, you got RFK, you've got Tulsi Gabbard, you've got J.D. Vance, you've got a whole bunch of Elon Musk. All of these people are not going to be cool with another neocon war hawk agenda like the one that Lindsey Graham and Mike Pompeo are driving. So that is reassuring. And you know what the most reassuring thing to me is I talked to my buddy K-Mag from Texas about this the other day on his podcast, which he is, I think, going to release on Monday. You know, I told him about this. I was like, look, for me, it's too much unity and too much let's all be merry and hold hands kind of shit. I don't like that. No. We need, first, accountability, a little revenge for me. You know, I'm cool with a little revenge. You know, I don't know. I know nobody wants to call it that, but I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm vengeful. When people try to fuck up your life, like they did to Donald Trump and Trump supporters, and now I hear another thing. Okay, this is the thing that made me so pissed off that I had to make this video. Is we found out yesterday that FEMA was told to stand down on Trump supporters, so no aid for Trump supporters after Hurricane Milton, which means that if they see a Trump sign or a Trump flag on somebody's lawn or at somebody's house, they basically just skipped over. Now, at first I thought this was absolute bullshit. There's no way they would make this official. And then I found out it was official. They admitted to it. The person that gave the orders apparently has either been moved out or suspended or demoted or something. You know, I just heard it in passing, but I know that they admitted that it was true. And that makes, I'm like, wow, the fucking gall of these people is amazing. They were so sure that they were going to be able to gaslight the American public into voting for another Democrat again, that they could put shit like this on paper, that they were going to refuse to help hurricane victims based on their political beliefs is insane. So then I was like, okay, no, it's really too much unity talk. Guys, it's too much unity talk. And I'm like, I'm over it. I don't want to hear no more unity. I want to hear, I want to hear this lawyer. I want to hear everybody in the administration talking like this lawyer, talking to Letitia James, Juan Mercan, fucking Alejandro Mayorkas, and these men talking about, we're going to put your asses in prison. That's what I want to hear. Fauci, the whole fucking gang. Right, so then I was talking to K-Mag, and he was able to reassure me a little bit, because he was like, listen, remember, right? Which is also what I say, you know, and I didn't even think about it like this. It just pissed me off. I got angry hearing this fucking unity shit, right? He said, look, it's going to be 3 months, you know, almost 3 months, well, basically 3 months before Donald Trump actually gets to take power. And in the meantime, the deep state bureaucrat fucking apparatus machine is going to do everything they can to get rid of him. And if he starts scaring them with, hey, we're coming for all your heads, then they're going to get even more desperate and do something maybe very, very stupid. So the message right now for sure is going to be unity, right? It's going to be unity because that's the message that's the safest for everybody. But he's got a point. I was like, okay, so does that mean you think that after he's finally in office that heads are going to start rolling? And he thinks so. And honestly, I think if it was just Trump again, I wouldn't be so sure, you know, because he's way too nice. You know what I mean? He's way too nice for me. I love the guy. He's great. I'd rather have him as president than anybody else I've ever seen, right? And he's awesome. But he is very, very nice. If all of a sudden, if you've been an asshole, he's very forgiving, right? And I'm not so forgiving a person. And I would rather he also not be. I think that would be best for everybody, except for the people whose heads are going to roll. Look, that's too bad. You should have watched that. You should have fucking thought about that before you did it. That's what we get told if we commit a crime. The authorities tell us, hey, I know you're crying now that you have to go to prison, but you should have thought about that before you did the crime. Right. Okay, so that counts for these fuckers too. I'm not going to shed a tear for any one of them. Right? I agree. Biden is probably now too old for it to make a fucking difference. Why put the dude in prison for the rest of his life? You know, it depends what he did. I mean, if there's an actual investigation and it turns out that he committed actual treasonous acts, then his old ass has to go too. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So For me, if you're like me, it's too much unity talk, but I get why, and that's what I want to instill in you guys today, is give you a little bit of hope. Look, let's just lay low, let's just wait it out, and wait and see what Donald Trump does once he actually takes the throne, right? Once he takes the throne, things may change drastically in people like me, people like my favor, right? So that's what I got, you know what I'm saying? I was pissed off about the unity, pissed off about hearing about the FEMA not helping Trump supporters after a hurricane. But these people are absolutely insane. Yeah? Absolutely insane. So that it's unacceptable to let them go. So let's just hope. I'll take K-Mag's advice, and I'm going to give that advice to all of you that are feeling the same way as me. Let's enjoy the moment. Let's keep hoping that Donald Trump makes the right moves as far as who he's going to select for his administration. Let's make sure that if anybody out there has Donald Trump's ear, that they tell him, listen, dude, better stay in Mar-a-Lago. If there's meetings or podcasts or interviews, make everybody come to you. Don't do a lot of traveling. Don't do a lot of flying, because these people are out for this dude's head, for sure. And the closer it gets to election or to inauguration day, the more desperate they will become. That's what I think. That's what K-Mag thinks. That's what a lot of people think. And I think that K-Mag is right, that's the reason why they are talking so much unity right now, to kind of put the Democrats and the criminals and the leftists on their back feet, and make him think like, okay, maybe we don't have that much to worry about. Let's not do anything drastic. And then when he finally gets in there, he will unleash the dogs. And I hope so. So we're going to see. Guys, if you want to get any of my content or all of my content directly into your inbox, right? Directly in the inbox, your email inbox, all you got to do is subscribe to my Substack. It's down below. You can do it for free, or you can do it for $5 a month, which I would greatly appreciate. That will keep me going. And you'll get it all centrally in your inbox, which is the easiest way for me to get a hold of you, and also the easiest way for you to choose which content of mine you want to see or read. So I write articles, I make the Rant videos, I do the Insanity Report every day, I give podcast recommendations, and I do what is your representative voting for. And so all those things you can get right in your inbox if you subscribe to my Substack. And if you're watching this somewhere else, you can follow me there, but please do come to itsallaboutlogic.substack.com. That's itsallaboutlogic.substack.com, and follow me there, subscribe there. That's the easiest for everybody. Guys, have a great weekend. Don't freak out. I know too much unity isn't great, but I think that my buddy might be right, that that's just the message for the time being, just to keep these people off edge, which may not be a bad plan. So guys, that was it. Have a great weekend. See you guys on Monday for the Insanity Report.